freaks, welcome to the American Horror Story After Show here on theStreamtv. I'm Ashley Mova, and I'm sitting here with some super freak leaks because we are all dressed up in Halloween spirit. Over here.
Hey, I'm Lauren, and I make YouTube videos!
I didn't prepare anything.
And over here.
What's up, guys? Xavier here. Xavier Brinkman here with you, and I wish I prepared an intro as good as Lauren's. Holy shit. I'm stoked. We just heard Twisty's backstory, so I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Really into it.
Army mateys, and all the way over there.
Hi everybody, I'm Janessa, and I realized that I'm a cat right now, so I need to watch out for Dandy.
I thought you were a mouse.
Oh yeah, Danny will kill you.
I'm a mouse, yeah.
I'm a mouse, duh. Okay, before we get started, we want to give you guys a quick reminder to invite your friends, let them join in on this Halloween party, and a quick shout out to our friends over at fansided.com. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with them within the next few weeks, so check them out. All right, guys, this episode, I think it's my favorite episode
100%.
so far that we've seen in this season. We got to hear everyone's backstories, and they were so sad. Did you guys have any favorites maybe out of those backstories?
I think all those stories on their own could have their own show, which was so cool. And I also felt like all of their things part of their story. I feel like it kind of can make everyone accept their flaws. You know how they all have a flaw and they like got through it. So I feel like everyone has a story and everyone has a flaw.
Elsa's story was my favorite story, just because, like, I mean, it was crazy. She's in bed and she's this, you know, she's a pretty well-known stripper. What would you call her? Like a prostitute?
Prostitute, dominatrix.
Yeah, she's a
dominatrix.
she's waiting for her partner, and then all of a sudden, it's just like there's a saw, and she's tied up, and it's really sad. And she was just like, she wanted to die. I was like, wow, that story made me cry.
Yeah,
I was crying.
I liked that. I loved, I mean, like Seal Boy and the lady with no legs, just because, I mean, you could see some real, I guess, similarities to their real lives. I mean, even though they're exaggerated, but I mean, I think we all watched the documentary for the guy that plays Seal Boy, and it wasn't that different, you know. It was pretty authentic, and I mean, I really liked it. I think
it was so sad to hear their stories because these people live like this in real life, so you can't. You know, they're probably really, with their acting skills, are pulling from their real life, you know, they're hurting.
It was really authentic.
Yeah, but another thing I thought that was kind of strange, I guess, was why do you guys think the rest of the freaks came in and pulled off Elsa's legs? What was the point behind that?
I feel like that Edward Mordrake, or Wes Bentley, who's awesome by the way,
right.
I feel like he was like, all right, cut the bullshit, you know, like you're a freak, stop acting like, you know, because she was sort of saying like, I'm not a freak, I run this thing, and he's like, no, you're not, and then they all came in and pulled off her legs and kind of stripped her back and exposed her for what she is.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
that's how I took it.
I feel like they were stripping her down to get her at her most vulnerable, so she'll tell her story, like honestly.
And then she did, right?
Yeah, her story completely makes sense now with the way she acts. Like, obviously, you know, at one point she was this famous dominatrix. You know, she was really popular in that world, and now she's wanting to kind of go back to that fame, and it really made me feel for her.
Sure.
Yeah, I think she also like wants people to relate to her all the time. So I felt like, and I feel like they know that about the person. They have like this, they like it, like even when he was with the clown, it's like they can look into their souls and be like, okay, we need to do this to get them to open up, kind of like a therapist.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's like, let me take off her shell.
Yeah, it's totally right. It's funny you say that as well. A lot of people were sort of talking about on Twitter this week that Edward Mordrake, the big scary myth, really wasn't that scary at all. He like creeps into people's like tents and's like, so how are you feeling?
Yeah,
you know,
right?
Yeah.
Tell me your darkest hour, you know, like take a lie down and tell me your true feelings. Like, it really wasn't this. I guess he stabbed Twisty in the end, which was epic. But I mean, he really wasn't this scary monster or anything like that.
But he was helping Twisty in the long run.
He was, but I mean,
knows,
he totally was. But it's like the way that everyone was scared about the myth of Edward Mordrake. You know, he wasn't really scary at all.
No.
And he did
the back
help
of him was Voldemort, but
Right,
and that's
everyone was talking.
That's the other thing
Twitter.
this week. And actually, should we go into the news of this week as well before we get started?
Yes. Well, Janessa, you had sent us this article about Lily Rabe will now be coming back to this season of American Horror Story. That's huge.
Yeah,
It was
that's
so
amazing.
exciting.
It was only announced like at 5 o'clock. I think
Yeah, it was
5:01
announced
today. The article came out. So Lily Rabe is coming back in season 10. I saw her at a coffee shop like 2 days ago.
Was she nice?
lucky.
How was she?
I didn't get to meet her, but I was like, I had all these things to say, and I just stared. And
She seemed nice.
I panicked and just like stared at her creepily. But yeah, so she's coming back in season 10, in episode 10, and she's playing the character that she played in Asylum. And I'm forgetting her nun name right now.
The nun. No, Mary Eunice.
Yeah, Mary Eunice.
Sister
So
Mary Eunice.
she's coming back, and we were talking about last week about were they going to further tie these connections with season
Right.
2. So that's epic, and also Neil
So
Patrick
exciting.
Harris is also coming back. He's also coming on the show with his husband.
That's awesome.
Did you know that?
I did not know
That's
that.
how good
So-
that
I did not
So-
know that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I
Really
love
cool.
that.
So exciting. And with Lily Rabe coming back, apparently Pepper's story will be revealed as to how she gets into the asylum. That's what I'm so excited
This
about.
is
The
all-
two
this-
are going to weave together. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
This episode was hands down the best.
It definitely was, and I think episode 10 is when Lily Rabe comes back. So
Sure.
I'm super excited for that. But another thing that happened tonight is we kind of saw the start, and it kind of ended, the start of another freak show, which belonged to Dandy and Twisty. What do you guys
Sure.
think of that?
I wish we would have got to see more of that.
Yeah.
When he was clapping after Jimmy like went in there and threw him from the sawing. I was just like, oh my god, this is so awesome! Like it was such a nice chemistry between both of them. It was like they had this new little family, and then
Right. I was
and then
kind of
it
shocked
ended.
about that. That Twisty wanted everyone to clap when Jimmy punched Dandy. I
in
was
the
shocked
face.
at that. And then I thought, well, I guess he has no feelings, but then his story, obviously, we'll
Are
get
we
to
ready?
in
Are we
a
ready?
second.
Are we-
No,
yeah.
we're going to
All right, we're not ready
let's
for it.
concentrate on the Dandy Twisty freak show. What did you guys
I
guys
didn't
like
think
it?
that it was that cool. I
was
didn't think it was
excited
that
for
important. It wasn't like a freak show. I just thought they kidnapped a couple people and were being like kind of creepy. But I didn't think it was that important of a scenario.
Yeah, I think it was a good build for what was to come next.
Do you think it was
100%.
it was pretty ballsy of Jimmy to run to Twisty when he saw him for the first time? And a flashback that we saw was that Twisty did work at the freak show previously, selling balloon animals when people were in the line. So I thought that was pretty crazy.
No, I don't think he worked. I think he wasn't working then. He was just hanging out at the front, and then Jimmy was
really?
like, "Yo, there's some creepy guy selling balloons.
I'll
Don't
just
buy 'em."
take his
He's like,
money.
but obviously before, I mean, as we're about to go into, but before that, he obviously worked at the carnival when the dwarves
Right.
plotted to kick him out.
So let's go into that.
Sure.
Tonight we heard Twisty's backstory, which was so sad, so shocking, so everything. How'd you guys feel about it?
I don't know. See, I'm kind of biased because Elsa's story, I side towards the women. So I thought she should have been the one. She had the sadder story. He's just crazy and creepy and out there. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't get upset for him because I was just like, he's crazy. He's trying to
Yeah.
kill himself.
But
and
he
killed
didn't.
the hot girl, that hot guy that was on the date with the pretty blonde girl. Like,
He's not. I mean, he had just as much of a story as anyone else, I thought, and I was tearing up at
Yeah,
his story
it was
because
so
he was a
sad.
good guy the whole time, and then everyone just was beating on him so hard that he eventually like became
But how do you
crazy
know?
mental.
How do you know?
They told us.
But even when he was like actually killing the people though, like he was like remembering it as something amazing. So he could have really been molesting those children, and maybe he's just always been crazy. Like
I think it was
point.
the
Yeah,
dwarfs being sassy.
But I think, I mean, obviously, so Janessa, like you pinned it from the very start. Janessa's always been siding with Twisty, and you were right.
Twisty, yes.
I mean, you see this whole side of Twisty that completely made me look at him differently, and that's a good point. I mean, maybe he was molesting
Yeah,
children,
maybe.
who knows? But it seemed like he was pretty innocent, right, to start with. Like he was like,
Right.
I'm a good person, I'm just playing with the kids, and the dwarves plotted it against him to get him out of the carnival because he was the most popular.
And he was talking about his mom a lot too. Do you think that maybe Dandy and Twisty had this connection because they both have really
probably.
like these issues with their mothers?
Definitely.
That's totally like deeper into it, but
Right?
that must be.
I don't know how much they would have talked about their moms together, but I mean, so how did everyone feel about Twisty taking off his mask
Oh,
Disgusting.
and his face, him blowing up his face somehow and surviving?
That
I
was
think-
disgusting.
I think I didn't even pay attention to how disgusting it was just because the story was so sad. I felt bad for him. And when we went into that toy shop, that was the same toy shop that
Yeah.
a few episodes ago, maybe it was a couple episodes ago, that clerk
It was the first one, yeah.
he killed him.
So that's finally we see a connection with that. So that's why obviously so much of Twisty's killing looks random. So he went back and killed the clerk at the toy store because that's where he went to try and get back in, sell toys and that, and the guy shoot him out. So he cut his head off and put it on a shelf, and then he killed the clerk boy probably because it was in his way. Don't mess with Dandy.
Not
Still, I mean, maybe I missed it, but I still don't quite get the connection of if there was any reason why he killed the people in the park, the girl in the park.
I didn't pick that up either.
He said, in the babysitter, he called the guy her babysitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like in his like crazy head, like
Okay,
he selected certain people and then gave it excuses.
And
like,
that's why he killed. And so, remember he was doing did a flashback where he did like the look and stare.
Yeah.
Was that the kid's parents or the girl's mum?
Yes, it was
Okay.
because he thought that he could give them like a no bedtime, lots of candy, and like just be like, you don't need parents and help the kids out. But he was actually.
Yeah. So, how are we going
That
to
makes
conclude this
sense.
one, guys? He's cute, but he's an absolute nutcase.
No, I feel so bad for him, and the reason he was the chosen one was because he didn't see any wrong in what he was doing, but the rest of them all admitted this was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, Elsa saw bad in her story. The half-bodied lady, do you guys know her name? The half-bodied lady saw the bad in her story, but Twisty didn't see the bad in his story, so he was the chosen one,
Yeah.
got shot and died, and I guess
Oh, got
went to
stabbed,
heaven
yeah.
because he gained his face back.
Another thing is, all those people wanted to die. They're like, okay, kill me, and Twisty didn't. He was
Yeah.
like, don't kill me, because he honestly didn't think he needed to die.
Right.
But it ended up helping him in the long run because he got his face back, even though he's dead.
Even though he's dead. So, but I mean, I thought Edward Mordrake I thought he was just doing people in the carnival. I wonder how he managed to get out of it. Maybe because of Twisty's roots in the carnival before that.
And Xavier, you pointed out that the clerk had called Twisty Twisted. Is that how you guys think he got his name?
Yeah, I mean, he shoot him out and said, "You twisted bastard," or whatever.
Yeah, he said you're
said.
twisted or something
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that.
I mean, just throwing it out there. Maybe
Just-
maybe that's where he got his name.
Out there. But moving a little bit forward on into the episode, Dandy killed someone. I was
my
so
God.
shocked.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
I didn't think they'd
didn't-
kill her off like that fast. I love
That was
her.
I thought she was gonna get at least a song.
I love Dora.
I think it was good. She was there for, I mean, obviously, so Dandy has got this guy's mask and put it on, and it's like giving him all this confidence or whatever it was. And I feel like Patti LaBelle was there at the perfect time to take his story to the next level.
Did you see when Dandy put the mask on? He had this face of relief, the same face that, remember when Twisty killed the clerk? He took a deep breath as if it was fixing his need to kill, and Dandy had that same face on right when he put the mask on.
And then and it almost looked like Patti LaBelle was going to push past him for a second there, and then he just sliced her up.
She was just
with his sword.
She's like, I've changed your diapers, I've cleaned your shit, and then it was just done. It was crazy.
So he's
and
finally got the
blood
confidence, and
everywhere.
then obviously he had that psychotic, crazy look.
And he's laughing
Laughter,
after.
and now
And he's totally living through a character with that. I think he is able to kill with the mask because he's not fully himself.
Sure.
He's half of
He's
Right.
so
Sure.
amazing.
So
I
he-
must say,
His acting's
he's one of my favorites on the show.
Right.
He's
acting is on
amazing.
point.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
So
good.
he's the new Dandy's the new Twisty.
So do you think that he will be killing now more, or
I'd
just
say
with
so.
a one
Definitely.
isolated
I'd say
incident?
he'd be killing some more people. I can
Definitely.
probably
Who do
safely
you guys
bet
think
it.
is next?
Maybe his mom. I mean, we saw
yeah.
we saw Frances Conroy sort of screaming in the
Yeah.
promo clip for next week.
Yeah, or maybe he's gonna go to the carnival and get revenge on Jimmy.
Yeah, because he said he hates Jimmy.
No, he hates the girl. Remember the girl?
That he
Emma
was
Roberts.
on?
Yes,
Because
Emma
Emma Roberts
Roberts.
he was chasing her when he fell, and that's who he was telling that he hated, right? When he was
I think he said it to both of them. I don't remember exactly.
Well, anyway, he already hates Jimmy because Jimmy didn't let him into the
Yeah.
freak show, so
Yeah.
they're in trouble.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
probably also thinks that Jimmy killed Twisty.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks because he doesn't
Right.
know the whole green
He
fog
didn't-
thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he didn't see Edward Mordrake coming, so he would probably he's probably going. You're right. He's probably going to go and get his revenge on Jimmy.
Exactly. So we will be right back after this short break, but I want to remind you guys, tweet in your questions because we're going to get to them right after this break. So tweet in your questions using the hash I can't talk tonight, guys. I'm so excited. Hashtag AHSAS, and we will be right back after this break.
just in case you missed it live.
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 In case you missed it live, I'm not fake, I'm so real, okay?
Hey, who's excited?
Woo! She's a little superhero slut because she's so. I just pissed everybody off.
She's like such a glamazon. Join the writing team because you are hot.
And I loved it.
That is like tension beyond belief. I found her to be deliciously out of control.
We were all just looked at each other, just like, ah.
So we can assume that you've written letters to inmates before.
Give me the diamonds. I need them for my wife.
Take charge and kill everyone.
Fuck off this Holocaust coffin!
You were agreeing with me, so I think it was a great point.
You know, you can't count anything out.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
What's your shoe size? My size.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Oh my God.
Very cool.
Totally.
So check out all the fabulous after shows we have here on theStream.tv. And now we're gonna get into your questions. So thanks for sending them in, guys, and tweet us all week long using the hashtag AHSAS and let us know what you guys are thinking. And we're gonna get to some of your thoughts right now. Fan question 1 is from @GamerAussie, and they say, do y'all think that Dandy can only kill those who are vulnerable? The animals in the backyard he killed? Question mark.
Jeez, was this question sent in before the episode?
Well, it was sent in before, but I mean, Patti LaBelle's character wasn't like I mean, she was sassy, but I wouldn't say that she was the fiercest of the fiercest. So
she wasn't she was. I guess she was pretty helpless to a guy with a knife.
I think
Exactly.
I think he's gonna take steps. He's gonna start off with like cats, and then the maid, and then bigger and bigger people throughout the series.
What were you gonna say?
I think she was just she was helpless because she was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
And she pushed him to like the very limit, and he just got the mask, and he was ready, and he came to do it because that's where he left off, and he didn't get to do it before. So now that he had it in him to kill, he went right for it, and I feel like he'll be able to kill a lot more people easily.
Yeah.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, like, that is his housekeeper. He knows how she acts. She's raised him, so I wouldn't say that she's like this big bad wolf.
Yeah. Is he going to be able to kill people who can defend themselves? Can he put up a fight? Is he going to go from helpless people to people that can fight back?
Exactly.
I think so. I reckon he's going to start.
I want to see him fight Jimmy. I want to see this fight.
Yeah.
It'd be like a really sexy fight, like two of the hot guys on the show.
You need to calm down, all right, over there?
I don't want to see that. I just want Jimmy to like be in peace for a little bit or whatever. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see him get hurt.
But yeah, I think Emma Roberts might be his next victim. But moving on to the next question, Samantha Judd asks, do you think there is going to be a serious love triangle with Maggie, Bet and Dot, and Jimmy?
Definitely.
We saw that tonight. Yeah. You picked up on that.
Yeah. Well, you saw their looks. Like they just made this look, and he was looking at her what's her name?
Emma Roberts?
Emma Roberts. Yeah.
Maggie's.
He was looking at Maggie, and then Betty and Dot were just like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, we're not the headliners. Oh my God, like we don't like the circus anymore.
And at the end, they refocused the camera from when Jimmy was looking from the twins to Emma Roberts.
Right.
And then he ended up looking at Emma Roberts at the end, so I think he's more into Emma Roberts, Maggie.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Maggie's
and also
character.
she was like very standoffish at the start. She's like, I'm not going into the woods with you. And then by the end, she's like, he was the hero. I'm going to give him a kiss on the cheek. And it was obvious. So,
Yeah.
I mean, also, it'd be a tough thing going for a chick with two heads, too.
Right?
Speaking on the men's behalf.
I mean,
Really?
he was
Is that like a threesome?
Does that count?
Yikes.
In that case.
That's the real love triangle.
He was giving Emma Roberts like puppy eyes, and they were kind of getting a little flirty.
For the YouTube commenters that were like, it is highly unlikely that there'll be any romantic connection between Emma Roberts and Jimmy.
Exactly.
You were incorrect.
Boo.
So stop being so sassy in comments.
In your face. So we also saw some little snippets. I'm trying to just see more questions here. So we also saw a little preview for next week, which seemed really intense. that guy who Emma Roberts is working with will
Yeah,
now be
he is
coming.
so creepy.
Yeah, will now be coming and trying to take
Yeah.
advantage of
He's so
the
realistic.
twins and feeds them a cupcake.
So
I think
Dennis,
it was?
Dennis O'Hara's come in,
Yeah.
and obviously he's already trying to kill them.
Right.
So
It's like, I'm from Hollywood. Here's my card. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make you a star and
So
kill
he
your
already
twins.
he sort of got Elsa with that,
Right.
Yeah.
And he was injecting a cupcake with whatever that was, filling up a bathtub. These promos for the week coming can be a little misleading though. I feel
Right,
like they
right.
have things in that don't even come up in the
I
episode. Like the
know.
one for this episode had Michael Chiklis with the gun, or he was screaming. You know how he was screaming? No, but that didn't even come up.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing with that is he is a con artist. His partner in crime is Maggie. But Maggie's probably not going to, she wants to stay probably.
Well, now I think her intentions have changed. Now
yeah,
that she,
totally. So
now that
Howard,
she's actually there.
I don't think he's going to I don't know how that's going to
So
play out.
yeah,
gonna be
so there might be.
drama.
I mean, there might be some pivotal moment where she has to decide whether she's
Yeah.
going to save a freak or she's going
Right.
to go with Dennis O'Hara.
Inner turmoil, or like maybe that something happens to the twins, because we saw the cupcake. It was very like Hemlock Grove kind of like you saw like the poison.
Right.
And like in terms of like editing, I feel like a lot of shows do that. That it's just good editing. They make it look so amazing, and you're like, oh my god, what happened? Because we're looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, something's happening. Like Dandy's mother is definitely the next to go, but who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, we
maybe
saw
it's
her
just, like, the
screaming
tricks.
in the preview for next week, and I read that in the next few episodes we're going to be finding out why Gloria's character is the way she is. So maybe that scream kind of had something to do with that. So I'm having technical difficulties pulling up more questions. So I'm just going to go to some YouTube shout outs to those of you watching us live right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. What's up, Samantha Judd, who also sent us a question. And Forever Johnny Boy, what up, Forever Johnny Boy? And Jane Doe. Ooh, sneaky Jane Doe. So thank you guys so much for watching us live. We will be back next week with another after show. And make sure you send us your questions using the hashtag AHSAS. And make sure you subscribe to theStream.tv and invite your friends for next week. We will catch you then. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye. Happy holiday. Happy Halloween.
Happy holidays.
That's
Happy
right.
Halloween.